You think you know me?
Alright, so shout out to my viewers and subscribers. Sports to the bone here again, man. Alright, so Kemar Roach recently named the most difficult batsman he has ever bowled to. I, for one, think that this individual that was named, hands down, is the best cricketer to ever play the game. Alright, so Roach, who regularly bowls at speed of up to 90 miles per hour in an Instagram live with West Indies cricket, admitted that former South Africa batting all-rounder Jaques Kallis was the most difficult batsman to bowl at. The Barbadian, further went on to admit that Kallis was technically sound and had a solid mentality. Now, this is extremely high praises for Kallis, seeing that Roach would have bowled and would have dismissed some of the world's best. When asked, Roach didn't even second guess. He immediately said that, hands down, Jaques Kallis. Now, this opinion from Roach goes a far way in the point that I am going to pitch to you guys today. In this video, I am going to stick my neck out and say, personally, I think that Jaques Kallis is the best to ever play the game. Now, mind you guys, I am not saying that he was the best batsman or the best out-and-out bowler. But if we should combine every skill that is needed, Kallis hands down mastered them all. This therefore brings me to the point that my personal opinion when it comes on to who is the greatest to have ever played the game, I personally think that Jaques Kallis is the best to ever play the game. And further down in the video, I have some stats and some comparison that I am going to bring across in order to solidify this point. Now, remember guys, we are talking about batting, bowling and fielding. Who can forget those wonderful catches in the slip garden by Jaques Kallis? Alright, so just for some quick stats, we see where Kallis would have played a combined of 519 international matches for South Africa, scoring a total of 25,534 runs while taking 574 wickets. In total, he has 62 international centuries. Alright, so we're going to take a look at what is normally used to judge how good a batsman is. So at the end of a batsman career, a specialist batsman career, what you can do to find out how good or how consistent of a batter that player was, you look at his average. Now, if we look at Jaques Kallis' test average, we see where he would have averaged 55.4. Not a shabby average at all. We see where loads of specialist batsmen would have been proud of an average like 55.4. His ODI average was 44.4 and not as high as the test, but that was still above par. Seeing that Kallis could have easily walked into the South African team as a batsman or as a bowler based on his performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, to put all of this into context, I am going to take you on a journey. We're going to look at a couple of specialist batsmen and a few specialist bowler. Now, this is going to prove to us how good Kallis was. Remember now, a specialist batsman primary role is to bat and to score runs. A specialist bowler role is to bowl and to make sure that they are taking wickets. So now we are going to take the time and look at how Kallis matched up to some of the best specialists to have played the game. Alright, so when we take a look at a player like the great Ricky Ponting from Australia. Ricky Ponting at the end of his career averaged 51.8. And mind you, Ricky Ponting was a specialist batsman who usually bats at number 3. Specialist batsman. He was solely picked on the basis of his batting. Alright, so if we take a look at our next Australian great like Michael Clarke, who was also once the Australian captain. He's the one that would have taken over after Ricky Ponting. Now, Michael Clarke's test average at the end of his career was 49.1. Alright, not too shabby. A lot of batsmen would have been proud of an average like that. Now, remember, we're talking about specialists right there. Just to draw back your memory, remember we had said that Kallis batting averages was 55.4. Good. Alright, so going down the line, the man that is very much loved by players all over the world and fans from India, Sachin Tendulkar. At the end of his career, his average was 53.8. Alright. Remember again, Kallis' batting average was 55.4. We go down the line to the man that the Caribbean fans love the most. We look at Brian Charles Lara. His batting average at the end of his career was 52.9. No, all these players are people that, when the greatest argument is being touted, these are players that you usually hear thrown in the mix. People like Sachin, people like Lara, Ponting, those players. But very rarely you hear people, who talk about somebody like a Kallis and say, here what, this man is the best to ever play the game. Not saying he's the best batsman, but overall, Kallis is the best cricketer to ever play the game, based on those stats that we would have seen right there. Mind you, Kallis was mostly in this team as a batting all-rounder. As I said earlier, I could have made the team as a batsman or as a bowler, but he was mostly a batting all-rounder in the team. And all the other players that I just called are players that are usually picked solely for their batting, except for Michael Clarke that usually bowl a little off spin. Alright, so those are the average. And I know persons are going to say that it has to do with the amount of game or the amount of matches that he would have played, why his average might be higher. But you have to take into consideration that it is how consistent you are able to score runs that will decide your average. Even if you are playing a lot of games and you're not scoring any runs, then it doesn't make any sense. Alright, so that close off that part of the argument when we compare him up with the specialist, the so-called specialist batsmen of the past. Now, at their peak, these were some of the best specialist batsmen in the world. Kallis could have made his team solely as a batsman, as I said earlier, or solely as a bowler. Not only would he just make the team, but on any given day, he could outperform a specialist batsman and then turn around and outperform the specialist bowlers in the team. Alright, so having said that, let us take a look at how Kallis fared against some of the world's best bowling all-rounders. Alright, so now we are using most of the test stats, as test cricket is considered to, be the highest level of cricket. Now, based on the duration of test match, players' technical ability will always be put to test. So, we like to use the test cricket when we are making comparisons. Alright, so now on the bowling stats. Kallis bowled right arm medium pace. He took over 292 wickets in 166 test matches. As I said, not too shabby. Especially that, on any given day, Kallis could probably ask to go and bat at number 3 and then turn around and, open the bowling. So not too shabby at all. Now, to put this in context, if we should compare Kallis with some of today's leading bowlers or all-rounders, Kallis would come out on top all day long. Alright, so take for example Jason Holder, who is currently the #1 test all-rounder in the world. You know, he's nowhere in Kallis's class. If we should look at Ben Stokes from England, who is also highly ranked as a test all-rounder, Ben Stokes is nowhere at all near Jaques Kallis. So, you know, if we match him up against some of the best specialist batsmen, and then we go and match him up against some of the best bowling all-rounders, then we would see that Kallis comes out on top all day of the week. Every day of the week. Every day. And as I said earlier, some of these players might have not played the amount of matches as Kallis. But how Kallis was able to dominate for such a long period of time certainly gives him the edge. With an average of well over 55 and over 62 international centuries, 575 wickets and 200 catches. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the best cricketer to ever play the game, Jaques Kallis. Sports to the bone, keeping you informed. Please remember to like, share, leave us a comment. If you have not yet subscribed, please remember to subscribe to our channel.